Hello, welcome back. I am so glad to be here. It has been months. I didn't do my New Year's recordings like I had planned on doing. I probably will be a little raspy, perhaps coughing a bit during this video because I haven't recorded anything in so long. It's been incredibly busy with my day job. And that's good. That's a good thing. Also incredibly busy with my family. And, there were some concerns along the way, but everything is looking okay right now. So that's great. And I am happy to be back here with you. I'm not going to do individual videos for every sign this week, but we will do a collective reading, and then I'll pull a couple cards for each individual sign at the end of that. So I'll timestamp everything in case you don't want the collective reading, in case you don't want to listen to me blabber on about what's been going on with me. But welcome. This is Crow Indigo Tarot, and this is going to be a general reading for the collective. And again, I will do some individual sign pulls at the end, just a couple cards for each sign. But I wanted to do a single reading for everyone today, and I would love to get back to doing weekly videos for each sign. I'm going to have to take this one off because it is making lots of noise. If time permits, I will absolutely do that. This is something that I do because I'm called to do it, because I enjoy reading the cards, and because it is a gift or a skill that I have developed over time, and I feel like there are messages for people, and I'm sort of a conduit for that. So I would like to get back to the weekly videos, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's just focus on the now, which is what I've been trying to do a lot in the past few months, and see what happens today. Let's see what we have, what messages are coming through from Spirit for us on this beautiful full moon day in February. Tomorrow is my 50th birthday, and I'm not sure how that got here so fast, but I'm certainly grateful to be celebrating a 50th birthday, and I'm really excited for the year ahead. Lots of good possibilities, and I feel just energetically that things are improving for all of us right now, that there's a shift happening, and in the next few months, things are really going to ease off a little. Just feel lighter, less of a heavy experience than we've been going through this past year. All right, let's see what we have. I want to lay out some cards, and then we'll look through them collectively, read what is going on. It's general, okay? I'm not reading specifically for one person. So if it doesn't resonate with you, that's perfectly normal that it wouldn't resonate with you. And if you're interested in a private reading, I still do have a little bit of time for those, but not so much. So email me, if there's something that's really troubling you and that you wanted to consult the cards about. And I will see what I can do to fit in a little reading for you. Okay? So this card deck is, I like to tell you the names of the decks, in case you like the artwork, in case it speaks to you and you wanted to get your own copy. This is the Light Seers Tarot, and by Chris Ann. That's pretty widely available. I don't think you'd need to worry about not being able to find it. I'm going to move these slightly up so you can see everything. There. So, yeah, Light Seers Tarot, really great deck. I like it. The artwork is quite emotive. It speaks to me. Let's see what we have here. We started out with the Eight of Pentacles down here. This is working hard, diligently, honing your craft, seeing some results from your efforts, seeing that things are coming together, starting to maybe have a little bit bigger bank balance after struggling for some time. I think that the energy off that card today, what's speaking to me there, is the clutter in front of this person. There's time has passed. Phases of the moon have gone by. That's what's speaking to me, really. And my readings are always intuitive in nature. They're not always aligned with the meaning you may find in a book for this particular card, though they are definitely influenced by that. I'm often called to read the messages based on the imagery. And in this case, what's jumping out at me today is that pile of stuff on the desk. We have a candle, we have a pile of papers or books. It looks like a quill here, like a feathered writing instrument. There's a plant, looks like an aloe plant, which is quite good for, it has healing properties. It's good to have one of those in your workspace. Magically, it's good, and also medicinally, it can be helpful. In fact, I just randomly, I just pulled a piece off my aloe plant this morning to deal with a cat scratch that I had gotten. She has a candle in her hand. It's a green candle. Green's the color of the heart chakra, of earth, of renewal, of energy, and new growth. And there's over here just a pile of stuff. It looks like maybe a mortar and pestle. There's some herbs. There's a bowl of soup, maybe. Just various bowls of herbs, plants. So maybe she's doing some wild work medicinal efforts here, or it could be sort of an indication of all the resources that are available to you. What I'm also sensing, when we look closely, there's a reason for each of these items to be there. But when you look at it from outside, it looks cluttered. If you look at it from a distance, it almost seems like she's got too many things to pay attention to. But she's only focused on that candle, on the growth right now. Her gaze is resting on that candle. I get the sense that the real focus has been on growing something for quite some time. And then everything else is sort of piling up around you. It could be that your efforts have been really focused in one part of your life, and you're starting to come out of that now and realize that there are all these other parts of your life that need attention, other areas of effort or interest that you haven't put much time into that you'd like to get back to. The Nine of Wands came out next, and this is a fabulous card. It's a beautiful energy of tenacity, of fighting your battles, of being, oh, got some glare there. Wouldn't be my video without glare. If you're in sort of a long-standing phase of effort where you've had to fight many battles, but you're still standing, you may be tired, you may have, oh, got some weird things going on with the video. I'm not sure if that'll come through for you or not. Hopefully it won't. You might be worn, battle worn, but you're still standing, you're still on your feet, and you're still able to face what comes because you're so devoted to your cause. I love the artwork on this card. It's really just that strong sense that maybe you've been working very hard at something. You've been putting a lot of effort and focus into one part of your life, and it's what you've needed to do. It's what's been required of you to put that effort in. You're not ready to give up on what you're trying to achieve, even if you are somewhat tired from your effort. The King of Wands coming out next. And here we have an energy of desire, of passion, of following your passions, but in the most effective way that you can. You see the lion in the background there. The lion indicative of strength, of quiet, silent strength, of being able to go after what you want. What is interesting to me, there's this Nine of Wands. You see that what she's holding there, her torch, or her, oh, I can't get it to focus, hold on. You see what she's holding there, and it looks like it's lit at the top. But if you look really closely, it's just a tiny little flame, I guess, at this point that she has going on. And then in the Nine of Wands and then the King of Wands, we have this larger, more established flame there at the top of the wand. And I don't want you to get hung up on the genders, because the gender isn't a thing in tarot. These are images for ease of use that were created over the years. But male, female, it's the qualities of a masculine quality, a feminine quality, a stereotypical feminine or masculine quality. So you're moving from, oh, I put them in the wrong spot there. You're moving from this, you know, battle-worn, exhausted, but still fighting because you believe in it energy, into a really solid, you're not wiped out anymore. You've got a really strong flame. You've got a good, strong stand, and you've got the strength behind you to stand in your passion, to be in what it is you've been trying to achieve, if that makes sense. And then we have the Lovers here coming out, which is about a connection, a soul connection. Perhaps in some readings it can be the need to make a decision between work and love. It can also be about a fruition, a connection, coming together with an energy that you've been called to, that you've sensed that is there. Usually a person, not always a person. It's the coming together of something where there are parts of your soul that are reunited. It could be in discovering some piece of yourself that you haven't yet seen. What am I sensing from this card today? It does feel a connection to me with a person other than yourself. It does feel like there is the sense that all of these efforts that you've been putting in, this singular focus, this tenacity, this really resilient energy, following a passion, part of that passion has something to do with another person. That doesn't mean it's romantic. I don't want you to get the wrong idea. It doesn't necessarily feel like romance to me. There is the sense here that you might not even know what this is, this connection, but you know that you're drawn towards something. You know that there's some underlying reason you've been working so hard, that you want to be in that space where this is possible, where this connection of soul is possible. So this is sort of kind of looking at where you're at right now, and looking back a bit at where you've been coming through to get to. Let's take a look over here. And this is sort of what I would sense is ahead. And we have the Five of Pentacles in reverse. To me, that's saying you've felt left out. You felt like you were not part of the conversation you wanted to be part of, that you were cut off somehow from the resources that you wanted to attain, that you needed even to feel okay. In reverse, for me, that feels like that so much of the Five of Pentacles is about perception. Let me show it to you upside right so you can see this person sitting out there feeling lost and alone, but the key is right there. They feel like they aren't allowed to go through that door, that they can't get through, but the key is sitting right there. If they would just get out of their head and notice their surroundings, they would see the key and they'd see that it opens the door they want to go through. So much about the energy of the Five, it isn't about actually being left out. It's not about actually being cut off from the resources you need. It's perception. It's thinking that you aren't allowed to have something you want. It's thinking that you're being excluded, but it's in reverse in this reading. So to me, that says you're starting to understand that that was just a perception, that you weren't actually cut off from what you need at all. It was something in your mind. You got confused. And that leads to the Three of Swords. And I know a lot of people don't like the Three of Swords, but to me, it's all about healing. If you look at that, sometimes it is painful to heal. Sometimes when you are heartbroken or when you are hurt, there are huge lessons to be learned through that experience, through a physical pain even. We learn things about ourselves. And I'm not saying that every awful thing that happens for a reason. Some people believe that. I'm not saying I necessarily do. However, I do think there are lessons to be gained from our trials, from our pains. And so for me, the Three of Swords coming in here after that Five of Pentacles in reverse is saying you get to heal now. Things get to get better because you are finally escaping that incorrect perception that certain things just are not meant for you and that you're not allowed to be part of certain conversations. You're starting to understand, and there may be some painful realizations in that shift of perception. You may have, as odd as it sounds, taken some comfort in the fact that you were the outsider, that you didn't belong, that nobody loved you, or that you weren't part of the conversation you wanted to be part of, that you should have been part of, you felt excluded from. There may be some painful observations that go along with that, and the realization that that was never the case, that it was your perception of the situation and that you didn't really see things clearly. But in that pain, there is healing. There is a better understanding of yourself and a better understanding of your journey. The next cards that come out, beautiful, beautiful energy. Two of Cups and the Sun. This is the bond. This is your soulmate. This is that connection you've been longing for, coming out over here in sort of a mirror of the Lovers. You're moving toward this connection that means so much to you, that really speaks to your soul. And I'm seeing it here as well, that there is this connection. There is this this other that understands you. This other, someone outside of yourself that can actually see you. And that feels really good. The Sun, happiest card in the deck. Gorgeous. Just that radiant energy. It just fills the whole sky here. You can see this person is just exalted. They're just full of joy. And there's this sense of celebration, release, and happiness. It's really beautiful energy that you're moving toward, that we're all moving toward. If we can see where our perception has been holding us back, if we can see that sometimes we have to face our own truths and feel the pain of that truth and that facing in order to move toward this, because you can't truly have this. This doesn't happen if you haven't gotten clear with yourself. In fact, if you haven't done the work, if you haven't stuck with it, if you haven't found a way to stand in your power, then you can't do the work that needs doing to shift your perspective, to look in your dark corners, to see for yourself where you're telling stories that are comforting to you, even if they suck. Because we tell ourselves stories. We aren't always truthful with ourselves. We tell ourselves the version of events that makes us sit in the better light many times, because it's uncomfortable to think we might be the bad guy in the story. But sometimes we are, because humans aren't perfect. Sometimes we are, because we have light and shadow, and we need both. And now there's this work you've been doing, and maybe you didn't realize that you were doing this work in service of balancing light and shadow, of getting to know your darker corners. But that is the result. You're now in the space where you do get to see, excuse me, you get to see where I almost don't want to say this because it's so cliche, but you get to see where you've played victim, where you've been the intentional martyr, because that puts you in a better light. Maybe people favored you, maybe people treated you differently, better, because you were the weak one. And again, this isn't for, like, everything I say doesn't apply to everyone, but that is definitely the story for someone. And for others, it's that you just have worked hard, hard, hard towards something, and you feel like somewhere along the line someone told you that's just not for you. Success isn't for you. You can go only this far. Maybe you can get the job as the middle manager, but you can never be the CEO. And those stories are so dangerous when we absorb them and take them on as our own. Your potential in life is limitless. It is only limited by what your brain tells you and what you allow yourself to believe. Perception is reality. And now is the time that you get to say, I wasn't locked out. I just didn't look up. I didn't see the key. And because you've done all of this work to get to the place where you can face your own shadows, where you can shift your perspective, where you can look at yourself honestly, feel the pain of not being perfect, feel the pain of not being what everyone else wants you to be, feel the pain of being the bad guy in some of the stories in your life. Then you get to heal. And when you heal, you are in that state of being that you could experience this. And this is gorgeous. And this is amazing. And this is what everybody would love to have, but often won't get because they try to do the shortcut version of life. They try to fit in. They try to be what everybody else wants them to be. And they never get to know them true, authentic self. And so you, watching this video, whenever you're watching it, you're at this point of choice. You've done all of the work to get you to the place where you are capable of doing that last bit of work that needs doing. And there's no timeline on this. It takes days, it takes months, it takes years. Depends on who you are and how you have progressed on your journey and how honest you are with yourself, first and foremost. But this is here and this is real and it's available for you. The line down the middle. This is sort of like the, it's not a divider so much as what you're going to need. Okay? Where you're at, where you could go, could be, very likely could be. What do you need to do to get there? What are you going to need on that journey? And we have, very interestingly, the Seven of Swords. Like the Three of Swords, another card most people don't like. Like the Three of Swords, another card that many readers will tell you is bad. That this is all about deception and sneakiness and trying to get away with something. And I'm not saying that the card doesn't represent that. Certainly sometimes it does. But what I see here is stealth. To get from here to there. What you need. Stealth. You know, this is your future. This is where you want to go. And this is the past. And the way the cards are laid out, I know the mind wants to read if you're, you know, in most cultures. You want to read from here to here. But in this case, it's not how it works. the future is so deeply influenced by the past. It's all one. It's not, time isn't linear necessarily, although it may appear to be because of the constructs we've put around it. And what I'm seeing in this Seven of Swords is a need to do this kind of on your own. Do this under cover of night. It's got this big moon showing the way. Full moon like we have today. The crows here, very intelligent. Sorry, 1 minute. I have a cat trying to eat plastic. My apologies. So the Seven of Swords here, I think, is saying, move under cover of night. Do what you need to do, the work you need to do, the healing you need to do. Do it kind of secretly. And if it means that you have to okay. I see the crows here, and they're your intelligent mind. They're your thinking mind. They're there, and they want to call you out. They want to say, you know, you're not using your time productively. You don't go there. Don't start thinking about all of this. It's a waste of time. It hurts. We don't want to do that. It tries to get in your way of your mission, which is to heal. And so you need to sort of sneak past your intelligent mind and feel your way forward in somewhat in the dark, but there is some light. There is some guiding principle here. There is some guiding sense of spirit that you're moving in the right direction, but you can't listen to the mind right now. It's really important to find a way, maybe through meditation or some other practice, that you can get in touch with your soul. The Five of Wands, for me, this is always about conflict, but the value of the conflict. So there may be people that kind of sense that something's up with you, and they're you know, checking in, wondering what's going on. They might be trying to pull you away, to get you to spend your time elsewhere. And it's your job to use the tension of those interactions to help you get closer to your fire, to get closer to that sun here. See, this person at the top wouldn't be able to climb if these other people weren't, you know, trying to pull the poles in different directions. And they don't realize that they're helping you along, but they are. These folks that are kind of detractors or, you know, trying to question why do you spend time meditating? What is that about? That's such a waste of time. Those folks are actually helping you to clarify your path forward, to clarify what matters to you and what you really do want. You could stay in the life you have now. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it'd be a hell of a lot more convenient and less painful than digging in your dark corners and trying to figure out what hurt you and why you think that you're not worthy of a better future, of this connection. But it's doing that work that gets you here. It's not avoiding it. It's not letting other people pull you away from the path. And this strength, I mean, inner strength, obviously, you need to dig deep. And you need to believe in yourself. There's a confidence quality there in order to get from having done a lot of work toward your goal, seeing it in sight, but not quite there. You know, on a very more obvious level, I guess, you could say that you have been trying to find a relationship. You've been doing the work. You found somebody you're passionate about, and you have a partner now. But what I think in that case, if that's your read on this, that partner, that could be a soulmate. That could be somebody who really speaks to your soul. The two of you truly bonded and connected and sharing something otherworldly. And I think you can see that that's possible. But it doesn't just happen. It can't just happen. A lot of times people, oh, he's my soulmate, she's my soulmate, and they just met them. No, that's lust. That's chemistry. That's a whole amazing soup of love chemistry going on. But it's not this. This is looking at each other's ugly parts. This is knowing that you are, in fact, worthy of anything that you desire. No, and your partner also. And that sometimes you are the bad guy in the story. And that is okay, as long as you are honest and taking ownership of your feelings and your actions and making amends where it's needed. You don't get here from here without doing the work. And again, it doesn't have to be a relationship. That's one interpretation. It could be just the perfect life. Everything aligned the way you want it, and you can see it. You can see it's possible. But it includes that shift in perspective. It is for me. It's always been for me. I just couldn't see. I think that is kind of my general read here. What I'm going to do now is shuffle these back into the deck, and I'll pull just a couple cards for each of you. If I can remember the order of the signs, it has seriously been so long and so busy that I might forget somebody, and I hope I don't. All right. Let's start with Pisces today, because it's our birthday. I know, it's not literally your birthday today. It's not literally my birthday today either, but we are in Pisces season. Oh, that one jumped right out. Your Five of Pentacles coming out again, Pisces. Your perception needs to be worked on about what is for you. What do you get to have? What do you get to have? You get to have the King of Swords and the Ten of Pentacles. King of Swords could be a person. Very direct, smart person. There's wisdom in that, for sure. Intelligence. Honesty. And the Ten of Pentacles. Happiness. Happy family. Financial stability. Everything you desire, you know. Money for generations to come. Access to any resource you may need. A Tree of Life. The Kabbalah Tree of Life there. Right down to the stereotypical golden retriever. All the happiness. All of that could be yours. If you are able to break yourself out of that negative thinking. If you are able to see that you don't see clearly. All right, Pisces, let's do one of these Love and Magic cards. This is by Adrian Vita. I have gotten these on Etsy. Endings are always the start of a new beginning. Move forward with courage. So for me, I am ending one decade. I'm starting another. For you, maybe you are ending a relationship. Maybe you're ending a job. Maybe you're moving to a different apartment or house. There are lots of different endings and beginnings in our lives. And Whatever you're ending now, you're making room for a new beginning. You're making room to move forward with courage. Sorry, my cat keeps trying to eat plastic out of the trash, and she's annoying me and distracting me. All right, Pisces. Aries. Let's look at Aries now. Aries. Knight of Cups in reverse. Page of Wands. And the Chariot in reverse. So the Knight of Cups in reverse. Aries, there may have been someone who was coming toward you, all love and roses, making some sort of proposition to ride off on his white horse, sending you sweet nothings, texts, emails, love letters. It's in reverse, Aries. I feel like it's not necessarily not going to happen, but there's been some delay. We've got the Chariot in reverse as well. Chariot usually means forward motion, and you're holding the reins and you're moving your life in the direction that you want it to go. Harnessing your light and dark sides, we were talking about earlier. But it's in reverse here, and I feel like in this reading, the Page of Wands is sort of immature, fresh desire energy. This is going after what makes your heart beat faster. And I kind of feel like there was a stop and start situation here. It definitely feels like a romance reading. It could have been that you were being wooed by another company that was thinking about making an offer to you, and then that didn't happen. You got all excited about it, and now it's delayed. Doesn't mean it won't happen. I don't really feel like this is done, as they say, right? I think that this is somebody, if it's a person, and again, could be male or female, who sort of came on strong and then just sort of backed it off. He maybe even went so far as to ghost you. They're not gone for good. I think they're going to be back. But it's up to you, what you do with that when they come back. It could be a very good reason for the delay here. So if it made your heart sing, if it made your heart beat faster, maybe when they show up again, you give them a second chance. As long as they're apologizing for that ghosting, because that stuff, not cool. All right, let's pull you one of the love and magic cards, Aries. See what we have there. Procrastination simply means you are not energetically ready. Don't push. You will get what you need done when you are ready, and it will be effortless. So, again, there's an energy in this card around delay, around postponement. It's more focused on you. So maybe that person, maybe you were the person in that set of cards who came on strong and pulled it back. Maybe you're just not ready yet, energetically, to move forward with that connection, that relationship, that new job. That is quite possible that you're the one who needs a little more time. And when you're ready, it'll happen. And you'll get everything you need. Let's look at Taurus. Taurus. So, the sun, we talked about in that main reading, that joyful energy, that fulfillment and happiness and joy. Just a really positive feeling there. And then the Two of Swords and the Five of Cups in reverse. It feels maybe like you are, maybe you're not in this yet, but you can feel it coming. This real happy space. Generally, you're happier than you have been in a while, but you see that there's the potential to be super, super happy. But you feel like it requires a difficult choice of you. The Two of Swords is, you know, the character is blindfolded. These two crows have all these strings, and they're kind of, you know, wrapping them around and stuff. And oh no, I guess that's not the case. That's just hair, possibly. Her hair. It's a little hard to see. So what I would take from that is you feel like you're being kind of pulled a little bit in different directions by people, a couple of people. You can't really see clearly what is causing the irritation. But the other thing that comes out at me from this card is the sense that you've narrowed your focus, because you know you need to make a choice about something, maybe between two people, maybe between two jobs, maybe between two activities. You know you need to make a choice, so you've intentionally narrowed your scope, as envisioned by represented by the blindfold, so that you can just sort of listen to your inner self and figure out what the right choice is. The Five of Cups in reverse. Five of Cups in the upright is sort of focusing on what's been lost instead of what is still there as potential. And when it's in reverse like that, I feel like you're moving out of that energy. You're starting to move away from focusing on what's been lost, and you're starting to realize that there is still something that remains that is of value that you could be embracing instead. So kind of where we're at with that one, Taurus. I think you can see the sun, you can see the joy, you can feel it coming. You're fairly content now, but you want to be moving toward that warmer feeling, and you're getting there. You just need to do a little bit more work there with the choices and allowing yourself to appreciate what is instead of focusing on what was. Let's get you a love and magic card. For Taurus. For Taurus. If you are uncertain, know that this is okay. Trust the answer will come in due time, and you will know exactly what to do. So maybe that relates to that decision you need to make. It's okay to be uncertain. The answer will come to you when you need it to come. In due time, it will show up for you. All right, let me see who is next. Gemini. Gemini's next. Gemini, what do we got for you? So, the Hermit. In a very non-Gemini way, perhaps you've been spending more time alone. You've been isolating yourself, thinking through deep thoughts. Really kind of exploring your inner world as opposed to the outer world where you would normally find yourself. Really interesting imagery here. It's like the person is maybe sitting on that rock, or maybe they've elevated above it, and the light comes from inside. You're letting your light out for yourself as opposed to for everybody else in the world, like you would normally do. And that's leading you to a victory of some sort, a public acknowledgement of what you've achieved, you know, an inner feeling of success. And strength is coming out here next. It's sort of whatever is happening now, whatever this public acclaim is for, it has increased your confidence, your self-confidence, and something that you were doubting before, you're feeling more assured of now with regard to your own abilities or your own value. Love and Magic card for Gemini. What has happened? What has happened is old news. Nothing is stagnant, and everything moves forward. Revel in the knowing that you are always creating new news. So if this pandemic phase of life, this quarantine living, has made you feel like things are just slowed down and there's nothing new going on, I sense that this card is for you saying everything moves. Everything changes all the time. It might not feel like it, but nothing is stagnant. It's always changing. And you are always creating new news. You are a pivot point, you know, a shift. For many people, you have this ability to bring the news. Okay, Cancer. Hanged Man jumped right out there. Where are you in need of a new perspective? Where are you maybe thinking of things in an old way and needing to shift things up to start to see them differently? It looks like if you are able to shift your perspective to see things from a different angle, to pause and allow yourself the gift of not doing for a while, just observing, that some great joy is headed your way. Assume some sort of new opportunity, the Ace of Pentacles being, you know, a new financial opportunity, a new job, a new investment, a new windfall, some sort of access to a resource you've wanted access to that you never had before. There's a lot of good energy here, but you do need to pause and consider. And like in our main spread, you need to do that work maybe of looking inside. Let's take a Love and Magic card for Cancer. Ooh, that one jumped out. Cancer. If you find yourself forcing or efforting, take a break. Everything feels effortless after alignment of your energy. So again, take a break. Cancer, you're strongly encouraged to take a break. To take a break and look at things from a different angle. It will make things feel less effortless. Leo, Queen of Wands jumping out. Cards have decided it's time to talk, I guess. Page of Swords. Leo, you're in your warm passion right now. The Queen of Wands. She knows what she wants. She gets what she wants. She is very good at chasing down her passions. She's very good at, say she, but again, male or female. The Queen of Wands energy is so creative and just brings to life ideas, brings things into being that weren't there before. Page of Swords. You might be inspired by something now and want to go find more information about it. You might want to be going to learn, to become the student in some way, and to really absorb some new knowledge. The Nine of Swords in reverse. Nine of Swords tends to be about anxiety, overthinking, where we are the victim of our own mind to some extent. And here in reverse, it feels like whatever it is that's caught your eye, that's really sparked your passion, whatever it is that has you out there learning new things, wanting to read all about it, wanting to dive deep and study, it will be healing for you. It will set your mind at ease in some way, even if it doesn't seem necessarily to be related. So let me explain that a little bit. It almost feels, what's coming to me in these cards is, it feels like you decide that you want to learn how to quilt, or you want to learn how to ride a horse. And so you do some research, you become the student, you learn how to do this thing. And when you make your first quilt and complete it, or when you go out for your first ride and you're able to take it above a trot, that heals something pretty deeply in you that you didn't even know needed healing. Interesting. I wish I could explore this one further, but I can't right now. So interesting, Leo. I think listen to your heart. Whatever it is that sparks your interest and your passion, follow it, because there are benefits there that you might not even anticipate. Finding. Let's get a love and magic card for Leo. Care about the way you feel. Practice the art of allowing and guide yourself in a more unconditional way. Care about the way you feel. There may be something about your life right now that has you expressing care for other people more than for yourself, and discounting your point of view in favor of other people's. This is in a way related to the other three cards, because whatever you're feeling, it's calling you in a direction you need to go. It's calling you to learn and study to get you to a point where you can have an experience that could be really profound in ways you don't anticipate, that don't seem necessarily on the surface to be related to that study. And this love and magic card is saying you need to care about that. You need to follow up with that. You need to, if you feel moved by something, then that is valid. No one else needs to tell you that that's cool or that that is meaningful. All right. Leo. Now is Virgo. I got that right? Leo, Virgo. Let's see what we have for you, Virgo. Again, I wish that I could just remember naturally what's going on here with the signs, the order of the signs, but oh man, my brain is just fogged lately. Okay. This is such an interesting thing you have going on here, Virgo. 3 of Wands in reverse. 4 of Wands and the 5 of Cups in reverse. Yeah, okay, it's totally clear. You had an idea of what your path forward was going to be. You were sitting there looking forward, looking out into the future, and you had a kind of clear idea of how it was going to go. The general path that you were going to be walking onto, and you were just standing there anticipating it, waiting for it. You weren't unhappy about it necessarily, but it wasn't like, it wasn't that was what you planned for because that would make you happiest. It was just that you could see it. And you were prepared to walk into it. And then there was something happened. Some connection causing celebration in your heart. Some connection or group acknowledgement of cause for celebration. And that had you shifting your perspective now away from focusing on what didn't work out in the past, away from all the regret, remorse, sadness about what has been lost. And now you're able to see what lies ahead could be different than what you had thought it was going to be. It could be better. This was going to be good enough. And now you realize maybe you don't have to settle for good enough. So that's good. It could be about a relationship. It could be about a job. It could be about something that shifted for you socially. You know, maybe you moved to a new location and you met some new friends. Maybe you started to see things differently. Somebody helped you see things differently. Again, we go back to that sense from the general reading of the perception shift. And I want to do a love and magic card for you, Virgo. Let's see. Quiet your mind and listen. Talking all the time or asking others for advice drowns out your inner voice. Talk less, feel more. Where are you talking over your feelings? Where are you constantly talking instead of just stopping and listening? Because you need to be able to do both. And right now it seems you're a little out of balance and you need to listen more. It's okay. It's okay to have a silence too. You don't have to fear that. Let's see. Libra? Let's go for Libra. I really hope I don't forget anybody, but if I do, leave a comment and I will get that out for you. Can't believe how you can do something so many times for so long and it becomes just automatic, and then when you take a break from it, it slips away so easily. All right, Libra, the Moon, 5 of Pentacles, and the 8 of Swords. Oh, Libra. You're really in a difficult spot, mentally, internally. It might not seem like it to the outside world, but inside, you don't feel like you can see clearly. You're trying to follow your intuition. You're trying to listen to your heart, and you're trying to see the way forward and believe and have faith. But it all feels so heavy. It feels so weighed down. You feel like you're shut off from what you need and that there's no way you can get it. You're trapped in your mind a little bit here, and You feel like you're trapped. You feel like you're all tied up and bound and stuck where you are and that there's no way out. But these two are so much about your mind. This is perception. This is what's in your mind. It's not reality. But you're in your own prison right now. I wish I could follow this one up too, because I'd like to give you some hope. These things are temporary. These are transitional phases in life, and I can just feel your sadness. I'm so sorry. Have faith, okay? Because this is a beautiful energy, and right now it isn't manifesting right now for you as that feeling. Right now it feels like it's just you're stuck in this dark place and you can't find the way out. You can't see enough light to show you where the path out is, but it is there. It is there, and you can focus on the quiet moments that you're able to take in your day. Make some space to listen to your inside voice, to the inner person. That inner voice is spirit, and it will help you, okay? It will help you. Let's take a look at your other card, the Love and Magic card. For Libra. It's really about, the way out is about realizing that it's not real, that it's perception. That is the way out. Notice the signs you've been receiving. It's not mere coincidence, but a special message just for you. Where are you seeing repeating numbers or feathers or butterflies or anything that you notice it a lot? Try to find those things and try to see those symbols. There's a million different ways to interpret any symbol, but what does it seem like it presents to you? What is it? What do you believe it is trying to point you toward or tell you? All right, Scorpio, Libra, Scorpio. Yeah, I think that's right. Oh my goodness. Clear message coming through for Scorpio. Somebody's got something to say. Queen of Wands in reverse, Star in reverse, and the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Scorpio. Where do you feel like there's something in the way? Something is feeling like a block. Like you've got an idea, you're trying to get it out, it's just not coming, or you're trying to achieve something and it just feels like constantly there's just a barrier. There's something that you can't break through. I feel like you also are experiencing a little bit of a wavering hope or faith right now. There was an opportunity that looked like it was going to work out and it was going to bring you a lot of money, and it just hasn't happened yet. There's a sense that whenever I try to do whatever it is, you know, I believe it's going to work. I give it my time. I give it some effort. I really do try, and then it never works out. And I don't get what I wanted. I don't get what I need. I don't get what I was trying to get out of that situation. I kind of feel like that's where you're at right now. So if we go back to the general reading, maybe the block is that you're not letting yourself look at your shadows. Maybe the block is that you're not letting yourself be okay that you are sometimes the villain in the story. And that we all are. and that you don't have to be good and right and perfect all the time. That's what's coming out. I don't know if that's related or not. That could be one or a few of you. But that's the sense here, that you get all excited about an idea, but then something just doesn't work. It doesn't go where you think it's going to go. And that even though you have hope and faith and you believe that you're believing it's possible, there's part of you that doesn't. And that part of you that doesn't see it actually, can't actually visualize it happening, is what's standing in the way. So it's finding a way to truly shift your mind. There's something in there that's sabotaging you. Let's see what we have from the Love and Magic deck for you. Scorpio. Don't be a problem solver. Be a solution allower. Huh. Interesting. So maybe you're going about it in a way that's not effective. Maybe you're saying, okay, there's this thing and I need to do it and I need to fix it and I need to make it happen. And then I'll be successful. And what this card is saying is, how about you be you and you be open and you allow it to come to you. And I know that sounds very esoteric, but give it some thought. Be a solution allower, not a problem solver. Interesting. Huh? All right, so our next sign, Sagittarius. Let's see what we have for Sagittarius today. I hope that you've all been well. I've missed reading for you. I wish that I had infinite time. I could do readings every day. There's just a lot of things that I want to do as well as doing readings. And a few things I have to do as well as doing readings. All right, Sagittarius, what do we have here? High Priestess, 10 of Swords in reverse, and 9 of Pentacles in reverse. So I think it's a good energy overall. It is, what's striking me is that if and when, not necessarily if, when, you are aligned with your inner voice and your knowing and your intuition and goddess energy and the divine. When you are in that space, you are able to shed the parts of you that no longer serve, the parts of your personality that have developed over time and experience that just aren't what you need or aren't valuable or useful as you move forward into the next chapter of your life. And for some of you, this is about forming a bond with another human, moving into a space where you are not alone, where you are not independent and responsible for taking care of yourself all the time. It's not to say that you're giving up your independence and your self-sufficiency, but that becomes less relevant for you now. You're able to let that fiercely independent individual, I take care of myself, I don't rely on anyone, that sort of vibe that piece of you, you're able to kind of let that go a little bit now. You may not see any change at all in your day-to-day life. You may still act the same way. You may still do the same work, make the same money, but something inside shifts for you now. And it becomes less of a priority that you are this self-sufficient creature. And that only happens, though, if you really get in touch with your intuition and what it's telling you, because that's the next level of your evolution, is to make that shift, to drop that part of yourself, or the degree to which that part of yourself is crucial. Sorry, drop some cards. For Sagittarius. Exciting new opportunities are abound. Take a chance and change your life. So whatever that shift is, there's a really positive shift in your world coming. New opportunities. Many perhaps opportunities. And a chance to change your life. Doesn't happen every day, or does it? All right. Capricorn, you're up. Bit of a soft spot for Capricorn. My Venus is in Capricorn, which is why I'm so pragmatic in matters of the heart, I think. All right, let's see what we have for you, Capricorn. That one. Huh. All right. Again, with these cards, I think it's really putting us back toward the collective meaning and message that we got at the start, which is really, we've done a lot of the work, but now we've got that one more step to go if we really want all the goods, all the goodies, and that's a challenging step. Two of Wands, this is, deciding your path forward, making your plan, thinking about what you want, setting your sights, and just taking your time, waiting for things to come together and align so that you can step off onto that path. But it's in the reverse. So Capricorn, I kind of feel like you kind of laid out a plan for yourself, what you wanted, and now you're not sure. You're not entirely sure anymore, and you feel like maybe you can't, that it's not a choice that's for you to make, that you don't necessarily not want it anymore, that path that you were carefully planning and laying out, but you feel like maybe you're not allowed that path, that it's not the right thing to do, is what I'm hearing. And so you need to make a difficult choice about whether or not to go for it or not. This could be about a million different things, and it really depends on you individually, how you interpret it. What is it? When, with all of these readings, with all of these cards, when I say the words that are coming to me, when I look at these cards that have come out of the deck for you, it's how you hear them. It's how you interpret them. What does that sound like in your life? Because that's what this message is for. For you to look at your circumstance differently. For you to consider what this message is saying and hear your own inner voice telling you what your truth is. Does that make sense? So I think you're in kind of a quandary. It doesn't feel super emotional to me at the moment. It just feels like, I really want this. I can't have that. I need to decide. Am I going to keep wanting this when I know I can't have it? Or am I going to move on? And as I say all of that, I want you to note, this is what you want, the way you've designed it. There are a million different ways to have something. It doesn't have to be exactly the way you designed it in your mind. Eight of Swords is about feeling tied up and bound and unable to move forward, unable to go after what you want. It is a perception card. Beautiful, beautiful imagery here. She is looking in the mirror and she sees herself all tied up. But in reality, she is not. Okay? Perception. And I think I'll leave that there. All right, Capricorn, let's get you one of the love and magic cards. Don't worry about proving yourself in this life. There is no ending to who you are. Your energy never ceases to be. So if there's something you're trying to achieve in this world, don't berate yourself if you don't get there, because your energy is just experiencing one of many go-rounds. And what you don't achieve now, you'll always have the opportunity to achieve at another time. Could be related to those other three cards in the sense that you're feeling like you need to make a choice now, but maybe you don't need to make a choice right now. Maybe you're creating a false sense of urgency about having to decide. This is Aquarius. Jumping right out there. The Ten of Pentacles and Victory. Six of Wands. Aquarius. Getting the good reading today. Didn't forget anybody, did I? Yeah. All right. Some repeating cards again. Ten of Pentacles. Happy family, financial security, comfort, abundance, health. Well on your path to your soul's journey in this life. Six of Wands is public recognition, acknowledgement of your successes and your achievements. And the Knight of Pentacles. Someone bringing you offers, someone bringing you opportunities. This is a really great energy, Aquarius. It feels like you're quite content now where you're at. And that you're starting to get some public acknowledgement of your skills and some good financial opportunities coming in for you. Yeah, it's a nice energy. It's a good, contented energy. This doesn't mean that everything's perfect, but as an overall read, kind of feels like a good space for you, Aquarius, right now. Let's get you a Love and Magic card. Okay. Do something creative and play as often as you can. This will renew your energy. So definitely a focus on creativity, I think, in this reading. For you, Aquarius, there's a sense that you're encouraged now to go out there and be super creative. And there are acknowledgments and public reward, financial reward for your efforts, for your creative efforts. I have this lovely new deck I haven't really worked with much, and I'm just going to finish by taking a quick look at these with you. It's called the Divine Feather Messenger deck and book set. Alison DeNicola, with the artwork by David Shearer. And they have all these different feathers. I don't know if you can see. Different birds, different feathers. And then on the backs they have these little the bird that the feather comes from, and then the little blurb, like a little poem, like an oracle deck, I guess. We get the osprey. So you see, you have the osprey's feather, and then osprey. Your success is now at hand. Allow the abundance to flow to you effortlessly. Let's take that with us for the day, yeah? Oh, gotta get the glare off. There we go. Your success is now at hand. Allow the abundance to flow to you effortlessly. Thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you for sharing this time. And I hope to be back with you soon, but I won't make any promises because I'm not entirely sure what the month holds. But thank you for reading. Thank you for sharing my birthday reading with me. Thank you for being here and for watching. If you have any questions about any of the decks, if you are looking for a particular type of reading, interested in, I don't know, anything about tarot, just send me a note. The email address is below, and you can always comment on the video as well. And I hope to be back with you again soon. I wish you a wonderful March, a beautiful spring if you're in the northern hemisphere, a beautiful fall if you're in the southern hemisphere. And as always, I am so grateful to share this time with you, to be able to do readings and to send messages out. If you found something in the reading today that you think would be helpful for someone you know, please share. And I always appreciate likes and subscribes and comments, and I don't know, I have a Facebook group, I have an Instagram account. If you like what you saw in the video, feel free to follow me over there. Thank you so much. I send you with blessings.